Time for my October TBR. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zach with Zacks Books, and in front of me I have got 5 books that I'm planning to read in the month of October. Due to change, as always, we will link these 5 down below. Something I might also toss in is maybe a couple of Goosebumps books. I know in terms of like what's on like audiobook wise form, I'm kind of dwindled down to like a handful, and none of them really sound intriguing, but I don't know, I'll probably find some on YouTube. I think I found a couple of them last time on YouTube. But anyway, like I said, we'll have these 5 linked down below. Down there is also going to be the podcast, Bookstagram, Danielle's channel. Check out her channel, get her 1,000 subscribers, hopefully by the end of the year. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the books. Okay, to start off with before I get into the list, something that I have done the past 2 years that if you haven't been on my channel before, or if you have been on my channel before, is called Zocktober. And what that is I post a video every day in October, kind of like, what's it called, Vlogmas or something like that, where people put a video out every day, or, you know, something along those lines. So I'm not going to be doing that this year, just because of Maverick and everything, which if you didn't watch my last video, we had our son Maverick. Yay. He's a beautiful child. Maybe we'll put up another photo. I don't know. Just because he came at the time he did, and the amount of time we've been out and adjusting with him, we had no chance of being able to get Zocktober done this year, and we'll just have to try it next year. Maybe I'll try and do some kind of video involving him where I can, like, you know, we'll show you like maybe his costume if we find one for him, or something like that. And no, he's not going to be Danny Torrance. I've fought for it, and Danielle doesn't want me to do that. So, but yeah, let's get into the stack of books here. The first one we have is the buddy read I'm going to be doing with Danielle, which we are now doing a monthly, well, we kind of always had like a monthly buddy read, but now what we're doing is we're going to incorporate it into the podcast. And the one that was for September, which was by Sherry Lapina, Everyone Here Is Lying, Danielle still needs to finish it. Cut her some slack. She literally just pushed a child out of her. So that one we're still working on. But this one is Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. So I have read a Rachel Harrison book before. I think it was called The Return. It was a very good book. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was one of my first thriller type books when I started, I think, either the channel or my Bookstagram. And it was a really solid story. I really enjoyed it. It had some eerie parts, some weird parts. I've not read anything else by her, however. So I know there's 2 other really big ones. Such Sharp Teeth I haven't read, and Cackle. Cackle is one I really wanted to read, but I never got to it. But this is her new one she just came out with. It's got like a demonic looking cow on it. So that's kind of, maybe it's a cow? I think it's supposed to be a sheep. It looks like a cow, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a sheep. I don't know. It's just a silhouette of a weird, scary-looking animal. Leave me alone. I've been getting no sleep because of Maverick. So the blurb on here says, a cynical 20-something must confront her unconventional family's dark secrets in this fiery, irreverent horror novel from the author of Such Sharp Teeth and Cackle. Yes, that is how I'm supposed to say that. Again, bear with me. I'm very tired. So, it sounds intriguing. I think it's a book that Danielle and I might like. I'm hoping so. We actually did buddy read The Return as well, so we'll see how it goes. I haven't heard too much about this. I think it just got released not too long ago, maybe in the past 2 weeks or something like that from when I'm recording this. So, we'll see. I don't know. I also like how it's like pink and like black. That's like horror. So, we'll go, yeah, there you go. Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. Alright, next book is All Hallows by Christopher Golden. So, after doing a brief talk with Danielle, we knew about one book I had read by him that I DNF'd, and that was, Road of Bones. I hated that book. It was going absolutely nowhere, and I just couldn't get into it, and I hated it. And Ararat. I think that's the boat about like a book, or no, the book about a boat or something like that gets like sunken and like they're trying to unbury it. I don't even remember. I hated it. I think that was the book where we're following this I think I DNF'd both of them. So he's skating on thin ice right now. And as you saw with Alex North, I gave Alex North a third chance, and The Angel Maker was a pretty solid story. I think I gave it 4 stars maybe. Honestly, that book is like a blur because that was the same time we found out that we were having Maverick, so kind of blanked out on it. But All Hallows is supposed to be a Halloween book, and here's what it says. New York Times bestselling and Bram Stoker award-winning author Christopher Golden is best known for his supernatural thriller set in deadly distant locales. They're not good. But in this suburban Halloween drama, Golden brings the horror home. So hopefully, like I said, this is supposed to be set on it's Halloween night, 1984. So hopefully this one is good. I mean, the cover looks really nice. However, I did say that about the Road of Bones, and that book sucked. So we'll see. We'll give him a third chance. See what happens. I don't know. I'm open to 3 times the charm. If this one doesn't work, I'm going to need to see some really banger reviews for a 4th book if I'm going to give him a 4th chance. So, I don't know. He just hasn't worked for me. And King says it's tightly wound, atmospheric, and creepy as hell. And I believe he's said that before about something he's written, and I absolutely hated it. So, we'll see. I don't know. Sometimes King and I don't agree on taste. But yeah, there you have All Hallows by Christopher Golden. Alright. Next up is a book that was just on my previous TBR for September. I didn't get to it for obvious reasons. Maverick. And that is The Silver Eyes by Scott Cawthorne and Kira Breed Risley. Don't know if I'm still saying that right. So this is, if you didn't watch that one, the last video I did with this book, if you don't know the game series Five Nights at Freddy's, A, where have you been? And B, the movie's coming out this month in October, or well, depending on when I post this, it'll be coming out. It comes out at the end of October, and it's a movie I really want to see. Luckily, it's going to be out on Peacock too, so I won't have to deal with dragging him to a movie theater, so I'll be able to watch it at home. But it's a game series that I followed for the first couple games, then it kind of got distant after like the 4th one or 5th one, Sister Location, yada yada yada, whatever. I started getting back more into the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's with the movie coming out, which all the previews, it looks pretty good, and I'm pretty excited for it. And there's a lot of stuff in some of these games that I don't understand because they're all in the books. Just kind of like how Marvel has like the TV series, like some of the TV series linked to the movies, but if you don't watch the TV series, you don't know what's going on if you watch the movies with it. So like the movie The Marvels coming out next year or this year has a lot to deal with Ms. Marvel, which was a TV show. I didn't watch it. I'm SOL. I'm not going to figure it out. Whatever. Same thing with these books. A lot of the lore is in these books, and this was the first one that came out. So I'm very excited for this one. I want to read this. Then I think there's the Twisted Ones, and then there's the Fourth Closet or something like that. I think those are the original 3, and then there's a bunch of other series based off the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. But again, I am very intrigued with this series. I want to read this book. I want to read all these books and nerd out with Five Nights at Freddy's. But also the guy who's playing the bad guy in the movie is literally Shaggy. So yeah. But yeah, there you have Five Nights at Freddy's, The Silver Eyes. Alright, so I have 2 King picks I'm planning to read in October. Might end up being more, might not be these 2. I'm not sure. At the time of filming this, I have just finished Holly, which I just did a video on that. If you have not seen that, check it out up here. Solid story, gave it 4 stars. I'll let you guys watch the review. And I'm about to be starting the Talisman for the 8th time. With that being said, after finishing Holly, I have 9 more books to finish in Stephen King's catalog, excluding the one that he's got projecting coming out next year, because obviously that's not out yet. I have 4 collections and then 5 standalone novels. Again, like I said, I'm going to be starting the Talisman probably today. If not today, it'll probably be tomorrow based off of filming. Again, I'm out of leave with baby, so got some spare time to be reading some bigger books. The 2 I have set aside for my October TBR First one is Everything's Eventual. This is a short story collection. Hearts in Atlantis is another one that I was intrigued with reading, but then I saw that it was not like stories. It's like 4 little novellas into one book, but it's all based off of like the same guy, George something. I don't remember what his name was. But this is a bit more of what I'm trying to look at and like wanting to do, some collections. The other one I might end up finishing after the Talisman or with the Talisman is Nightmares and Dreamscapes. I'm still debating on doing this one or Nightmares and Dreamscapes for October. I'm putting this one in the video because I've put Nightmares and Dreamscapes in probably 14 other videos. But still kind of a toss-up between which one I'll do. Honestly, I may be able to get to both of them. I don't know. I'm trying to finish King's catalog by the end of the year. Tough task, especially with the newborn. We'll see. But ones that stand out to me, and this one that I have heard or like have seen adaptation for, you've got The Man in the Black Suit, which is, I want to say, supposed to be like a, what's his name? I feel so dumb. The guy from The Stand. Randall Flagg. I think it's supposed to be like a Randall Flagg incarnation, The Man in the Black Suit, if I'm not mistaken. Like The Walking Man or whatever. There is another one, The Little Sisters of Illyria. That is a prequel to the Gunslinger book, which there is standalone like books by Viking, I think it is, the people who did the main series. It's like $600, and it's like definitely, I don't think, worth it. Then there is 1408, which is a really good movie with John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. And then there's Riding the Bullet. Not as good as a movie, but I did see it, and it seemed okay. It's about like this killer amusement park ride that's like haunting this guy or something like that. I don't remember. But I know it was a really good, it seemed like a pretty intriguing story. So there's a couple good ones in here that I am very intrigued to get into and read, and we'll just have to see how they go. And yeah, so that's the collection I have planned to read in October. Again, it could be Nightmares and Dreamscapes. It's kind of a toss-up still. The novel I have planned, since I have a few days left in September, is to read the sequel of The Talisman, Black House. So King wrote this with Peter Straub, who unfortunately is no longer with us. So, however, I did just read something where King is possibly planning to finish the trilogy, because I guess Peter Straub like sent him some work for book 3, and King already had some stuff in the process. So I had heard that there's a good chance we might end up getting the 3rd Talisman book, but I think he also said it'd be like 800 or 900 pages long or something like that. It'd be a really big book, which I'm fine with. I have no problem with that, but we'll have to see if he actually does it. I'm hoping, but can always see what happens. Again, this is a sequel, so I'm not quite sure the main aspect of this. I know a lot of people said I can read this without reading the first one, and this has got a lot more Dark Tower references in it than the first one does, but just because of who I am, I want to read the Talisman first. I've already messed up with the Hodges trilogy and reading The Outsider before I read those. It is what it is, but I want to actually go in order with this one. But we'll see what happens. I'm very excited for The Talisman. I think that's going to be a very under-the-radar book that like not a lot of people talk about. A lot of people actually kind of hate The Talisman, but I got a strange feeling that might end up being like a really good King book. Even with Black House. A lot of people like Black House more, so we'll see. So there you have Black House by Stephen King and Peter Straub. Alright, so those are the 5 books I have planned to read in the month of October. Again, always subject to change. Always willing to add. Obviously, I'm going to add stuff. Like I said, I might do some Goosebumps stuff. But we'll have these 5 linked down below. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you're planning to read for the month of October. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.